This is the Uptick Network Stock Day Podcast, sponsored by InvestorsHangout.com. Penny stock news and interviews from the microcap world. Public information on OTC, pink sheets, and microcap stocks from around the world. With your host, Everett Jolly.
On today's show, we have a very exciting guest with us. I'm excited to have him on the show. His name is Brad Moore. He is the CEO of Fundamental Applications Corp. Well, they trade on the Canadian Stock Exchange under the ticker symbol FUN. They also trade on the OTCQB under the ticker symbol FUAPF. Brad, welcome, and thank you for coming on the show.
Thanks very much for having me.
You know, give us a little background of yourself, a little background of your company, and then I want to get into some Q&A today.
That sounds great. So currently I'm the CEO of Fundamental Applications. I took the helm of the ship on February 2016. Pretty excited about coming on board and getting an opportunity to leverage on some of the great work that's been done by the previous teams before me. Prior to that, as you know, I'm Vancouver based. I spent a few years, I should say, actually 7 years, as I like to call my 7 years in Tibet in Montreal, Canada. It was very cold and very French, but it was a lot of fun. And I had the opportunity to work for Kodak as a business manager from 2001 to 2009, handling distribution for them across North America. When I came back to Vancouver, I was the chief revenue officer for a tech company in Vancouver for just about 2 years before I took over as CEO of FUAPF.com. And obviously, I'm the proud father to amazing kids.
You know, tell me a little bit about your Fundamental Application Corporation. You know, there's some talk about your Foro app. I know you guys have a letter of intent for Opendit apps work. So give us a little background of what you guys are doing and what's so amazing about your app.
Great. Yeah. Okay. Sure. So Fundamental Applications started as a tech company that's sole purpose job was to go out and acquire apps, right? We hear a lot of terms called like app incubator or acquire. We're a tech firm. Really what we do, Everett, and our sole purpose is to put great technology in front of 17 to 22 and 24-year-olds. And primarily what we do is we target kids that are at school. We target kids that are at university for one specific reason. It's a great closed environment, right? The demographic is very strong. It's very laid out. It's very well established. And we currently actually have, with the letter of intent for Opendit, we currently have 4 products that we can offer. 2 of them are what I consider legacy products. They're Serum and Truth. They're both in the anonymity space. Those were very popular about a year and a half ago. Not as much now, but still very, very strong with user base well over 100,000 users globally. Foro, what I consider has been the flagship, is a buy-sell marketplace just for students. So I want you to think about back in the days when Facebook first came on and how well it did by targeting university students, by giving them a way to communicate and post messages. Well, what Foro does is it just takes that same approach by working on a campus-by-campus basis. And just so you know, the Foro app can be downloaded on 7,000 campuses worldwide in 8 different countries. So if you're standing, anywhere near a campus in Canada, United States, the UK, Australia, India, South Africa, Ireland, and you download Foro, if there's a campus within 10 miles from you, you can find the Foro app, and you can find other students who are buying and selling products. And what's really cool about that, as we know, it can be a little bit scary sometimes, like posting things for sales. And there's no one real place for kids to go and post everything. And why would you go try to sell a textbook back to a bookstore that you paid $180 for? They want to give you $20 when there's another guy might be 5 doors down from you, right?
Right.
And he needs that textbook. You just don't know him, but he's only 25 feet away. And so what's really cool about that is he can buy it for 60 and you can make $60 on it.
Absolutely.
The other thing, and the other thing is dorm room furniture. Why store stuff if you're not going to use it next semester? And and even more basic things like on a daily basis, cell phones, laptops, concert tickets. It's truly about community life. It's really about, and as we know, you look at it like a lot of schools, right? They have student populations 25, 30,000, 50,000 students on campus, and it's a true microeconomy.
Yes.
And our job is just to help facilitate that, and that's what the Foro Student Marketplace. Interestingly enough, when Martine came in, we only had 8,000 users on Foro. It was relatively new, just launched, and over I believe it was just over 5 months, we grow to over a user base of 50,000 users now. And, we grew from 12 campuses to being used on over 750 campuses. There's actually 10,000 products listed on Foro for sale right now, with probably about a total market value of $1 million. So in a very short time, it's been embraced extremely well by the kids. Opinit is the other side of Foro. Now, think about, if you don't have something to sell, do you go on Foro every day? Maybe, maybe not. I mean, do you go to Expedia if you're not taking a trip, right? So what we started to look for is something that would engage students regularly. And when we found Opinit, we got really, really excited about this idea. The reason we got really excited about it is that, this generation and every future generation going forward expresses themselves online in ways that we can never imagine, right?
Exactly.
And they have the ability to kind of build networks. For somebody in my demographic, I did it through business cards and shaking hands, and these guys build networks online in days, weeks, and mere months, right?
Right.
And what's really interesting about it, they do it through content creation. Now, so really what is content creation? And content creation is just the ability to grab something that's of interest to you, post it, and share it with your friends. And Opinit gives people the ability to grab like an image, like a screen capture of an image, load up a photo, grab like a text base. If you like a quote that you see online, it grabs it, or even a video, and the video will actually play inside of Opinit. And like some companies that are out there that just started using emoticons, Opinit's been using emoticons so people can actually express how they feel about something. And that's really, really cool. So if you're at UCLA and you play varsity tennis and you love Wimbledon, you can grab scores, you can grab, short videos of people playing it and post it for your friends to see. Or you just might love a great restaurant just off campus and you want to share the recipes. And what we saw is that has just had a huge growth curve. And that app, just so you know, I'm sure you're familiar with, Ed Hardy Clothing. One of the co-founders of Ed Hardy and the former VP of marketing was one of the founders of Khalid Ladras, who is also one of the judges on Germany's Next Top Model, was one of the founders of Opinit. And so he created this very dynamic, smart guy, very creative guy, in a way that created a really cool solution that students everywhere can use just to, let other kids know.
Absolutely.
About what they're interested. Yeah.
My guest today is Brad Moore. He is the CEO of Fundamental Applications Corp. They trade on the CSE under the ticker symbol FUN. They also trade on the OTCQB under the ticker symbol FUAPF. What I was going to ask you earlier, Brad, was that you guys make no money off the apps. How you guys make your money is ad revenue. Is that correct?
Yeah. So great question. And so once again, in all these things, there's always that critical mass factor. If you were a mall property owner, would you go to retailers, if you only had like 15 people walking through your mall? Probably wouldn't get Nordstrom's in there. So the idea about an app is what you want to do is you want to create bodies in there. But there's also kind of the key factor, the way that we perceive it, is that if you use the right, once you reach a critical mass and you're growing and people like it, ads are okay. But ads are okay only if they're targeted, and ads are okay only if they're specific to needs or requirements. And we've done, I'll give you a good example. We launched as a soft launch in India because it's actually the third largest university population in the world, behind the United States and China. And, in May, we are the number 2 lifestyle app over there.
Wow.
Like the kids just went, yeah, exactly. Out of, what is there, 1.9 million apps for them to choose from, we were the number 2 in lifestyle. And so it was really heavily embraced. So we started running targeted ads over there. And, I'm happy to say we're actually making money from it. Not enough money, but we're making money. So we've proven that mechanism out. One of the things I think that's really cool when we talk about the ability to make money looking forward is if we use OpenIt and what our vision is of being able to have a content creation tool. And like I said, go back to that example of Wimbledon. So you're at UCLA varsity, post something about Wimbledon. Well, what if every other Foro post that's related to kids wanting to sell tennis rackets? They've got, they were in tennis, now they're not in tennis. People looking at those content ads gets excited. You know how we all work, right? We see something, we want to do it. And that's the whole idea that we're leveraging off, is that they're going to see really cool stuff from other students on OpenIt. And then the Foro post that's related to it will leverage from that. And so if somebody posts about Wimbledon, if there's anybody selling a tennis racket on Foro, they're going to see that post, okay? And we really believe, and this is, we're not reinventing the model here. We're just capturing a closed marketplace and just providing the kids better tools, that I think some major retailers, I believe some major brands, in my opinion, would get very excited about the fact that if I've got 10 or 5,000, 7,000, 8,000, 10,000 students on one campus using our apps, why wouldn't they want to try to give them a discount on student discount to get them in to buy tennis shoes?
Absolutely,
right?
absolutely.
And so it's, we see those opportunities. We see opportunities being involved. We're looking at different ways on making money through helping kids transfer payments, so you don't actually have to go get $50 or $60 for that textbook. But once again, we're very cognizant of, fees and risk associated with that for, our users and ourselves.
Your stock price is currently around 15 cents. Your market cap is around $3.9 million, which I think is very undervalued. What can shareholders expect going forward here in the next 6 or 12 months?
Well, one of the first things I like to do is as of this morning, we just put out a press release that Jeff Hazlett, former global CMO of Kodak in the day and chairman and announcer of C-Suite Networks, is on our board of directors. And I think being able to make that announcement gives huge validation to what we're doing. Somebody of that quality and that level and that skill and that expertise and those connections doesn't join a small cap startup unless he really believes it's going somewhere. So we're that type of news is coming now and more. As I've said before, by February 2008, we're going to have 750,000 users. 750,000 users. We believe at this point with the new solution, the market, the value per user will be $200, and that's a $150 million market cap, and with the share structure, it's going to be at least a $4 to $5 stock, right? And so we see growth. We focus on doing one thing every day, building the best possible user experience and growing it. And then by that way, the value comes for our shareholders. Lots of growth.
My guest today has been Brad Moore. He is the CEO of Fundamental Applications Corp. They trade on the Canadian Stock Exchange under the ticker symbol FUN. They also trade on the OTCQB under the ticker symbol FUAPF. FUAPF. In closing here, Brad, is there anything that you and I didn't get a chance to talk about that you would like to get out to my listeners?
You know, Everett, it's once again, thank you very much for your time. I would just, my opinion, fundamental applications just and what we're doing just covers all the best things of a lot of different things that are going out there. We have one purpose only, is to make sure that students out there associate value and content creation with the Foro name. If we can do that all day long, we can keep adding value and bringing great products and solutions to them. And then it's not, let's put it this way, we're not playing Pokemon here, right? Once you win all the things, it's gone. We're going to keep adding value to those students, and for our shareholders, I think it's an exciting opportunity and lots of growth, and just for everybody to keep an eye on us.
Brad Moore has been my guest today. Brad, I want to thank you very much for coming on the show. I wish you the best, and we're going to check back with you in a couple of months to see how things are going.
Perfect. Thank you very much.